All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. Glad to be with you this morning and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Like these videos if you like them. Comment any of your questions. And make sure to hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of our futures videos. We do 5 a week when the markets are open. And I also do a weekend recap video. So, great content as always, keeping you guys up to date with the markets, answering your questions. Love to do it. Glad to be with you this morning. Dow futures are exactly flat. We're up to now. NASDAQ futures are red. Was red a little more overnight, down about 0.5%. Now we're red 0.02%. S&P is up 41.91, up 0.13%. The Russell 1659. That's up 0.34%. Yields taking a step back, 4.848% on a 10-year. The dollar index is up 106.30. Thank you, BOJ, Bank of Japan. Volatility index 1943, down about 1.62%, below 20 again. Crude oil kind of chopping around here as I look at my screen, 82.81, up 0.60%. Gasoline futures up 0.78%. Good morning, Jeremy. Gold futures hovering around that 2000 level, 2004 is flat. Silver down 1%, 23.14. Copper down 0.36% at $3.64. Euro dollar is up 10 pips, 106.24, relatively flat. The BOJ stepped in yesterday and talked about yield control and changed their tone from what they had this afternoon, yesterday afternoon, excuse me. 150.93. The peak is 151.93. That is the most recent highs. Let's see here. This was 11:31 last night. Bank of Japan monetary policy statement changes language around the 1% 10-year JGP, Japanese government bond cap. So that's where we got that spike. It continued. We are not at overbought conditions. I went ahead and sent a note to our Forex members for the multiple ways to trade this. So again, we are welcoming volatility, but unfortunately we did get stopped out yesterday. We did catch a trade on Friday. So again, we're looking at another opportunity on dollar yen for either short right at the top there, right around 151.93. We'll place a stop there and see if we get a pullback on an overbought technical play. Dollar, Canadian dollar, we had the Canadian GDP today. That came out, I think, around 8:30. Month over month, 0.0%. Estimate was 1.1%. GDP year over year, 0.9%. That met expectations. Excuse me. And the reason I posted that, not because we trade Canadian stocks, is because I wanted to show how the United States is doing in comparison. Maybe some people think that the economy is bad in the United States, or we could be doing better. But the GDP is showing that the United States pretty much head and shoulders above its northern neighbor. I've been saying this in regards to the United States markets, is that we're the best house in a bad neighborhood at this point. Where else would you want to put your money? Even with geopolitical tensions, I mean, where would you want to? Where would be the safe haven? And that's kind of propping up the dollar. That's going to help yields in terms of government bonds. Maybe we'll get some foreign flow. China not doing that great, as we know. The European Union bouncing back from that energy crisis due to the Russian sanctions. But again, the United States head and shoulders above everyone else. Pound dollar 121.59. That's down about 8 pips. Bitcoin futures, we do have a golden cross now on Bitcoin, 50 above the 200. I sent out a note yesterday in regards to that in the blog, and I said that Bitcoin has now golden crossed, 50 above the 200 MA, like I just said. Coin, Mara, Riot are all stocks to be watched for continued upside. So let's pivot there. We're at 34,360 on Bitcoin. Ethereum is flat. This is where we are in terms of yesterday's Bitcoin price. We're up slightly from that spot price. So let's go ahead and chart them together. All right, we're going to go each. So let's play some alerts together this morning. What do we got on coin? Anything interesting? Well, we're bouncing off the 200-day. That's a good sign. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for 85 to break, because right now it's really just chop. Not the best setup here on coin. So let's go ahead and place the alert at 85.39 class. Feel like I'm in college again. So we got here on Mara, we got that 50-day rejection at 882. So we got one or two ways to do this. We could do 963. That's a break of the 50. We can wait a little more and get to 1022. I would say if Bitcoin holds up with this golden cross, a very bullish signal, $9.63, that's what you're looking for. That's for that break. 963, and then we can play the $10 calls, excuse me, or $10.50 calls, or even the 11s. Again, it really is going to be beholden on Bitcoin itself. So we will see what we get. Actually, looking at Rye, it looks like a head and shoulders pattern. So this doesn't look the best either. So we need Bitcoin to really step up for us to play any of these names. Mara kind of being the best. Tough. You gotta have to go right above 14, 16, if anything. I'll place an alert at $12.43. That'll give us a little bit of at least some direction. Maybe the problem is that if we break above that, or we don't break above that, we could just roll over and fulfill the prophecy of the head and shoulders pattern on the daily. So, okay, so those three are not the best at the moment. If I had to rank them, it'd have to be Mara, it'd have to be Coin, and Riot in terms of technical trading here. Let's go and take a look at Bitcoin futures in terms of actually trading it. I got an alert above 35,725. That alert has not broken. If we go ahead and take a look at the daily, again, golden cross, we have the 50 above the 200, but that happened a while ago. That happened in March. So I guess the spot price, not in futures, we have that. But if we just go by here, we could see on the 23rd, technically kind of close speaking, that's where we have that golden cross. So if we look at the roadmap on Bitcoin, again, 35,725, that's a 61.8. Not bad of a place to see if we can go long and at least target 40. We like that round number theory. If we can get to around 40,000 right by the holidays or so, if we get some kind of Christmas rally, 42,140 by the end of the year is possible. But man, you need a lot of things working out, mainly the dollar. We need the dollar to drop. So 35,725, big level for Bitcoin. If we break that, I would want to go long, either buying some Bitcoin, put it in the wallet, hide that away, or go ahead and actually just trade it here with our futures team, or both. It doesn't really matter. I dollar cost average Bitcoin anyways, so I think I'm going to go ahead and see if we can trade futures on it. And again, we don't have to do full Bitcoin futures. We could do micros. So there's ways to trade this as well. I prefer not to trade crypto itself. Futures are different. At least Saturday's market is not open. I mean, at least get one day off, right? Can't be 24/7 in front of the screen. Gotta have a life, guys. I bought Solana 60. Should I sell? I don't have a Solana chart here in front of me, so let me see if I can find it. Maybe on Koifin. Crypto. Let's see. Historical price graph. All right, here we go. Back at it. All right, IZM, here we go. So here's Solana and US dollar. That's probably the best way we're going to price it. I don't know if you want to price it versus Bitcoin. I mean, that's really up to the person. So if you're telling me it's what, how much did you pay for it? $60 at 9? Well, now the question is very simply, do you need the money? That's really all. If you need the money, absolutely take it. Take money and run, be happy. But you have a little more room. That's one level I'm looking at is 55. I don't know much about Solana, so that's something I'd have to research a little bit on those altcoins because I really don't know what they all do. But here we go. Very key level. Here is your November of last year's peak. That's right around 36.16. So if you break above that, now you got a nice path to 48 and even 57. And again, guys, this is going to be all beholden to crypto flows and Bitcoin. And what's going to create more flows into the asset? Higher asset prices. It's very simple. People chase, investors chase, we all do. So do I. It's called day trading. So if we see Bitcoin starting to pick up at 37, again, obviously different alts move themselves. I don't know all the altcoins, so I stick to the main, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, if Bitcoin's going to rise, these altcoins are kind of like higher beta Bitcoins in a sense, where they're going to move exponentially to Bitcoin, whether up or down, depending on the coin. Again, I'm not an expert by any stretch on any of these altcoins and what their functions are. We're doing this simply as pure speculation. So again, if we get above 37.34, IZM, go and place that alert. If you get above there, that'd be a great place for a breakout, and then you're taking a look at possibly 57 for a swing, if that's what you're looking for. If you need the money, yes, what you can do is take out your initial investment when you bought 60 at $9. You take that home and you let the profits ride, and you can get, at least if you get above 37, 34, you got some skin in the game, at least to 57, if all things here actually go to plan. But you need to go ahead and actually break above 37.34. You're at 36.20. You're about a buck away. So if you can get a buck rise on Bitcoin, Solana will more than likely, based on this chart, will move with it. So best of luck to you. I hope that thing soars so you could get paid. Top of the morning, NV, top of the morning. Let's go and take a look at Microsoft. Yes, I still have these calls. Yes, we got to 26% or 24% yesterday. And I did not close because I was looking at dollar yen and I was literally typing it. I messed up. I was actually waiting for 30%. But our patience is about to pay off, team, since Microsoft is outperforming and outperformed yesterday, is up pre-market. We'll see if we can break above 340. We got as high as 341.91 last Thursday. Yesterday, we are near yesterday's peak on Microsoft. So if we can get around 20-25% this morning, we're going to go ahead and take it, and then we'll let the runner dictate to us how much more we can go. The reason being is that AMD is after the bell. If AMD has a horrific quarter, again, Microsoft is not exactly directly affected, but NASDAQ could be. And then you have Microsoft being a big part of NASDAQ. Again, anything could change. Then we'll go, of course, we talk about Wednesday with the Fed, FOMC, and Chair Powell speaking. That's a big risk event. I'd rather go in with no positions open of anything that at least I cannot control, meaning options. We want to get out of any positions then. It's been very slow moving just for the fact that we've only been range bound. And, you know, with this bounce yesterday, really Microsoft was the one that was outperforming other than Amazon, which I traded with Masterclass and we got a runner on it. Hopefully they traded, I'm not sure. But, you know, looking at it in terms of zooming out, Microsoft looks like it's ready to break. There was some volume on those 345 calls. Granted, I have them. So 341.91, that should get us to around where we want to go. But the fact that we're right near yesterday's highs is very comforting, because if we can break above that, we should be home where we are, where we take our profits. We can chill till FOMC. Thursday's Apple's earnings. So we have to be extremely careful. We don't want to mess up and give away anything that we don't have to. I would obviously prefer that I took that 24%, but looks like you know, our patience is going to pay off. It's a great chart on Microsoft. I mean, it's one of the better performers in the NASDAQ, obviously with their earnings report, Amazon being another, and Netflix. But Microsoft has been doing relatively strong versus the NASDAQ and the S&P. I've been reiterating that point every day with our members who have Premium or Masterclass. So I know kind of quiet on the Western front here, but we want to be extremely careful with so much things going on. We didn't break out of anything yesterday. Don't get me wrong. Seeing the Dow up 600, 500 points, yes, great for headlines. But if we take a look at the S&P, guys, it's just chop. I mean, we're just at the top end of Thursday's range. That's how low we were on Friday, is we got some recovery. But other than that, 4,200 really hasn't broken since Thursday. So again, before we even have any conversations of is the worst over, we really are just chopping after, you know, Friday's move. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday was the weakest day out of all of them. So right now we're just kind of in a zone of what's next. And the reason that is because we have the FOMC on Wednesday. Traders are pricing a 0% chance of a rate hike. Take that with what you will. I don't think we get a hike either. Any good long-term stocks? Well, it depends on, you know, what your time frame is, what's your risk tolerance. Not every stock is built the same. You know, that's something that you'd have to research a little bit in terms of what kind of industry are you interested in. You know, what kind of companies really pique your interest for the future? Are you looking for more growth? Are you looking for more stability? Are you looking for, you know, aggressive innovation? Are you looking for the tried and true companies that'll stand the test of time? Those are all questions as an investor they must ask themselves. And it's important that, you know, obviously you have your ETFs and you have your 401ks or your retirement. But if you're interested in the stock market, it's good to have a couple of stocks that you actually like, that you actually consume their products. I mean, it kind of keeps you around. You know, it's easy to be an Apple shareholder if you have an iPhone, for example. or being a Nike shareholder and you love sneakers, that sort of thing. So it's good to have at least some kind of consumption skin in the game with owning some stocks. But I want to buy stocks. How do I take advantage of the secular rotation? Well, again, the secular rotation, depending on which sector you're speaking of. And again, it's a little more in depth in terms of what's best for you, what you actually want to do, depending on your age and risk tolerance. So, I mean, if you're looking just at sectors in general, what's been holding up? It's been communication, technology, communication services, the Magnificent Eight. While small caps are getting hit, value stocks are getting hit because you have higher rates. That means they have to ratchet up their dividend. And again, EPS estimates are up. It's not like the earnings are bad. It's just we're in a point now in terms of the market is how much is too much in terms of how much competition can bonds give stocks. So you're not getting any new fresh flows into the stock market. You're getting a lot of flows into bonds. That's why we haven't broken that 5% level on the 10-year. So again, yields and prices will inverse. So if yields go higher, the price of the bond goes down. So if everyone's buying bonds, prices go up, bond yields go down. That's how it works. You still enjoy the stock market trader almanac? Yeah, still got it. I get it every year actually, and yeah, it's always very helpful. It's a good place to put your notes. Obviously, I have it here on the side of my desk. Looking at it here, October and November, since November is first starts on Wednesday, I have Monday the 30th being a bullish day. Obviously, that was correct. Nothing for today, Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Wednesday bullish, Thursday bullish, and Friday bullish. You guys can see it here. It doesn't mean that it's automatic, guaranteed. It's not a crystal ball. This isn't numerology. It's just statistics. It's kind of looking at it a baseball almanac. Look at player statistics. You're more than likely going to predict the outcome of their day based on the theory of mean reversion in that sense. So if you watch Moneyball, it's kind of the same thing. Basically, you're looking at a bunch of stats trying to predict the future, and God willing, isn't that what we're all trying to do? Are you a call or put in AMD? I don't have any AMD call positions or put positions here, and the reason I'm saying that, it is earnings. To be fair, I did trade Amazon's earnings with Masterclass. In terms of AMD, tough, because both sides have a great argument. Is AMD too oversold? Fair enough, you're going to go to 100. Is AMD still have more room to go? You're going to go to 90. You're right in the middle at 96. I mean, it's between 100 to 90, and that seems like roulette to me. So, I mean, your best bet there is just to wait it out. If you get above 100, we can have a discussion about going long, possibly. And if we break below 90, then we can have that discussion about shorting it a little more. But until then, I mean, I don't see, both have a great argument there on AMD. So if both are, have both sides have a good argument, I tend to stay away. Tesla, yeah, I talked about this yesterday. I actually have an alert down. There was a headline on Tesla in regards to Panasonic. Let's see here. Tesla this morning. Here we go. Tesla shares dropped 5% on Panasonic battery warning, down 18% since the Q3 earnings report. I don't think it's down 5% this morning, but here we go. 193.34. That's the level I have, because you have one more death gap here at 146.53, which is highly possible. And Tesla is a fine company. No issues there. But again, Elon Musk's conference call and his kind of tone, from what I was told, was very dire. So it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence there, especially for the stock. You're asking for one of the most cyclical industries in our economy, auto buying. Yes, it is very high margin, but it's very seasonal. It's very cyclical. As long as employment holds up, yes, you will sell cars. People have jobs. But as soon as that unemployment ticks up just a tad, Tesla's going to fall, because not a lot of people are going to buy cars if they get laid off or lose their job, if money gets too tight. So if we get into an environment where interest rates kind of slow down again and we get that soft landing, inflation comes down, yes, that's a possibility where Tesla has bottomed. But 146.53 looms, and it doesn't look pretty. So 193.34, if that breaks, I'm taking a look at the 180s to 185 puts for possible continuation. I hate to short in the shoe in a sense, kind of short continuation down, especially on an expensive name, triple digit stock like Tesla. Those contracts tend to be very juiced in terms of IV. If you can catch it, you're going to take advantage of that IV if you're holding put contracts and the stock continues to fall, obviously. So you kind of beholden to both. Sometimes you chase and then you get into an expensive trade. Sometimes you catch it at the right level and then you catch that one quickly, like in 10 minutes. That's why Tesla is probably one of my favorite names to trade in the stock market. Good place to find call put ratio on a day. You got two that I use. One is bar chart. You can just type it in on bar chart, and this is one of the first things that comes on the landing page. And the second is right here. This is the symbol. There's no quote right now. It's a $ PCSP. That's the put call ratio. Lower the number, more siding to the call side. Higher the number, being more skewed to the put side. Best stocks of 24. Okay, that's going to come out next year. So we got a couple months away. Can't believe it's November tomorrow. So imagine that. That means another top 10 stocks. The top 10 was great when we did the update mid-July. If you guys want to take a look at that video, it is on our YouTube channel. The top 10 of 2023 revisited. We went ahead and took a look on how we did so far. And it was looking great until IWM started falling, TLT as well. So maybe we get a fourth quarter rally. Who knows? We'll see how things proceed. Every day is a new day, guys. All right, have a great rest of your morning. I will catch you guys tomorrow for the next morning note. What to learn about taxes? Oh, I am not a tax professional. That I can tell you. There's probably way better resources than I on YouTube in regards to tax planning and tax tips. I have an accountant. That's how I do it. Here's the receipts. Here's all the stuff. They work their magic. Oh, come on. Get them out for a dip buy. Yeah, I don't think I have that much influence to move a stock like Tesla personally. But, you know, I'm an optimistic guy. I mean, we haven't broken down completely. I mean, it seems kind of dire, but we still are right on the cusp of correction territory. I just don't see end of the world here. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You know, I did say by end of the year, all-time highs. You catch a little heat sometimes, but we'll see. The year ain't over. Year ain't over. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.